Welcome to a new episode of the Ambitious Sloth Podcast. Today it's going to be a bit different kind of a podcast than usually because I'm just talking by myself. And today's topic is what we, or especially I, can learn from struggles. And what can struggles teach me? And I'm speaking most of the time about me because this is the experiences I made, and I just want to spark a different perspectives that you can maybe also take on and so I'm speaking about my perspective, and whatever you find resonating with you, just take it on. And the reason why I did that, or why I started this episode now, is because I have been in such a struggle, and I find it the best way to speak about those things when you're right in there, or when you just got out of it. So for me, the struggle was that I was not being productive, which is a major thing, and well, at least important to me, and I could not concentrate. Could not put myself to work 5-10 minutes on one task, to write my thesis, to do another, write an email or whatever. I was always switching between tabs in the browser, watching short videos, or just checking my phone for no freaking reason. And this was going on through the whole day. So at some point I was getting really annoyed and really pissed that I could not control this. I didn't have control over how I could concentrate. And that was fuck. I really hated that. And obviously that didn't help in the situation. It just, made me more or less able to change the situation even. And well, fast forward, at some point I called a friend of mine. I was asking, or was just telling her about it, and the essence I got then from the talk was the question that resonated most with me was, what do you need? And when I asked myself that question, I was in a completely different perspective on the whole situation. Before, I was just pressuring myself into, I need to get myself to, function, to work, to make this happen. And I couldn't. It just happened that I couldn't concentrate for whatever reason. And when I asked myself that question, what do I need in order to make it happen? That was just almost a revelation, because from this state of fight to fight against the current state I was in, getting again into being productive was not helpful. It was just making me more paralyzed and not able to change. But with that question, I was like, wait a minute. What does my body, what do I feel like I need right now, just to feel a little bit better? And immediately popped something up that I was having in my head already for a couple of times during the day. I had that urge to eat some sweets. And, well, I wanted to spare the ones that I had, the Oreos, for later, for another day. And so I didn't during the day. But when the question was asked, what do I need? It was immediately, I need something of that. So I just ate the whole package, obviously. And then I just read for a bit. And funnily enough, I fall asleep while reading. And after this little nap, I was in a completely different state. I was dreamy, open, philosophical, and non-judgmental about what I have been doing the past day. Basically, almost the whole day I was not doing anything. And then I was just sitting there philosophizing about, the complexity about societies, why we even put tiles on a roof and why that is the best option. So about random stuff. But what also got to my mind was thinking about, in a meta perspective about what happened during the day. And this, for now, I have two possibilities that it taught me, at least, or possibly could teach me. Is first, something wanted to teach me that I don't have control whatsoever about the state that I'm in, and I should follow along with whatever I feel right now, because that state, any of those things, can teach you something. And what that something was, or could be potentially, for example, be one thing that after, a bad phase, a bad mood, or just a bad state you're in, there's gonna be uplifting times. There's gonna be some positivity afterwards. Because the only constant in life is change. And that got very apparent for me once I started thinking about it. What is this going to teach me? And this was a relatively clear sentence or message in my head that this is, there's always going to be upsides again. But for upsides to be there also needs to be negativity, or at least some not as happy states. And so the whole essence of this thing, of the incident or situation today, comes over to me as a learning that any struggle, any situation, or anything that's happening can always teach you something. Whether it is, the car driver in front of you that just crosses before you and you're just getting angry, or something is taking longer, even something at work is just not going the right way, some person is getting on your nerves, or just a difficult problems arising. And there's always the possibility to learn something out of those things. So what I'm doing most of the time, and trying to do even more and even more often, is really to see any situation, whether it's like uncomfortable for me, that I fear something, or another person says something to me and I feel suddenly like attacked. Like all of those things are teaching you something. And it's just, the way for you to be open to some new learnings and the possibility to grow and get better out of that. So the growth mindset perspective, if you've heard about the concept, to just always seeing the possibility for you to improve. And I see most of the things happening around me as a consequence of my doing. So if something around me, a person is angry at me, or something not going right, even if it's like, I don't know, traffic, and I come too late to get somewhere, then this is also teaching me something. It's might be like too much, obviously, but when there's a possibility, I try to do that, and I found it so far super beneficial to learn a lot about myself, how I react, how I think, how my thinking processes are. And yeah, that's the way I have been doing things for a long while. And I want to end this episode with a question. And basically ask whether the way how you approach those things happening to you, or whether you also see the possibility in learning from anything that's happening to you, or maybe even for you. And I would love to get some feedback on obviously my thinking process, how you see those things, the perspectives, and just have a chat about it, because that's something I try to do even more often, to change and challenge my perspective, to learn. So how do you handle those moods, those downsides, those things that you would like to change? How do you handle them? And have you considered the perspective of those things just being there to teach you something? Yeah, that's it. So thank you a lot for listening to that one, to that new style of episode. Obviously, also some feedback for this is very much appreciated. If I should do more of those, if you like it, if you wanna give me some tips, always welcome. And I'm looking forward to another episode, because I kind of like that. So I wish you a nice day, maybe some good thoughts, and namaste.